of the world, and they're represented by these dice. Now, you are going to have an opportunity to gain specific ether. With this particular card here would gain you an ether of this type. This particular card here would gain you a water ether. Sometimes the ether gain will be random, which is what this little snowflake icon is right here. It gives you an opportunity to get a random ether. It could be any of the different types. Now, when you have an opportunity to do one of your really cool cards, like something over here where you've got this big, amazing red action, that's what they call the Rave version. So there's a rally card, which are the green cards here up in the top left-hand corners, and then these would be the rally or the Rave cards where you're going to do your big attacks and your big actions. But after you've completed one of these cards, so say I did this one, this would give me a ranged attack with 2 damage and within a 2 to 4 range and give me an ether when it was over. I would then flip this card over, and now I have the ability to do this particular action on my next turn. And this would be one of my big raves, where it takes 3 ether to pay for it, but I get to do a jump action, I get to do a big massive attack with 4 damage, and I can heal myself for potentially 3 points there, which would be super nice. Big, huge attack, which you feel super strong and powerful. You also have reaction cards here at the top. So if something happens during the game state and it matches what's said here on the particular card, you'll have the ability to do one of those per round. And usually they give you ether, or they'll allow you to get away from something scary in combat so you can preserve your ability to stay alive, so to speak. Very nice. And then we have our monster actions, which will be over here, and we'll get to those when it is the monster action turn. But this is going to be one book, so setup is super fast and super easy in Rove. You're going to pull out your monster manual, you're going to pull out your map book, which will have all the information you have, and then there'll be another book over here which will tell you all about the different scenarios and the information that will be regarded therein, so like challenges and what you need to do to complete it and whatnot. But everything is listed all right there for you.
So that's super cool. So like all the monsters, like basically, like, oh, so this is like this scenario. You flip to that page in the book. There's all your monsters already laid out for you, and all you really got to do is like slide that token back and forth that you were showing us.
Yep. So on each turn, you just slide that across with the roll of dice. That's all it is. Very simple, very easy. Set up about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because that can be a big thing. It's like, oh, let's play this game. Okay, 45 minutes later. Okay, we're ready to play. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the game would be very accessible and that not only would playtime be a little bit shorter, that we wanted to take some of the major complexities out of the game to make it easier to play, but still give you lots of choice opportunities where it still feels good and you're still having a good time and you still have a lot of decision and mechanisms that you're pulling levers here, pushing this thing there. But it also isn't a ton of math and a lot of moving chits from one place to another, which is very nice.
Yeah, keep the fiddly down.
Yep, fiddly down. That's the fast way to say what I did like 40 seconds there. Keep the fiddly down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to jump into a turn and kind of as we go, we can tell a little bit more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. If you don't mind, then I'll go first and kind of walk through what my turn is going to look like.
Go for
it. Because we can go in any order
correct.
Every turn.
Yep, there's no first player, there's no initiative. It's whoever wants to go first, whoever can do something first matters. There's no it's all about me in this game. It's all about helping each other and trying to do things to save each other and move people around or enemies around so that somebody else can do something better. All about helping, not about being the big showboat, even though I like to be the big showboat. So in this particular case, I'm going to do a move action. So I have a movement of 3. So I'm going to take my Shadow Piercer person here, and I can move through my friends, which is great. And then so that's 2, and then that gets me to 3. So it'll be right out here. This feels pretty strong. And then I'm going to do I'm going to do an attack action off of my board here. So I've got this one attack called Ambush. It allows me to do 2 points of damage to something 2 to 3 spaces away. So if I look back over here, this Gale Leaper is 2 to 3 spaces away. So that sounds pretty good. So I'll do that. Now, in this game, you're also going to have this damage dice. So you're going to roll this to see if you've gained any brutality on your attack through using Ether of the World, or maybe it made your attack a little bit weaker. Or it could have done absolutely nothing. all of the above could be true. So I rolled water as the ether that was the element that was available to me in this particular round, and it shows here that it actually increased the damage that I was able to do. So instead of doing 2 points of damage, it actually does 3 points of damage. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
So knock it down 1, 2, and
Nice
3.
roll.
Yeah, that was very nice. And now one of the things that I'm able to do is right here, after an enemy near me within 5 spaces of me suffers 3 points of damage, I can actually take an ether from the area. So I'm going to do that. So that will be my my reaction for this turn. So I'll take that, and because it's the little snowflake there, it shows that I get to roll the ether die, and whatever shows up is what I get. So I now have 2 ether available to me, and just like normal, whenever you use any cards in this game, you're going to flip it over. So I'll flip this over, and then I'll flip my token showing that I've done a reaction for this turn, and then next time I'll have both of these cards that will be available to me. I could choose either one to use for my next turn. Now I still get to do one of my card-based actions here at the bottom, so I can do any of these that I want. And right now, I think I'm going to do this one right here. This is still going to gain me yet another ether, which is really awesome. And it's going to put down icy spikes underneath the target. It only does 1 point of damage, so it's a little bit of a weaker attack, but it does give me a cool ether field, which we'll explain what that is in a second. And it gives me the opportunity to get a water ether, which I really like. So I am going to actually go after this guy, though. So I'm going to aim at a different bad guy. So that is air. And if I look down here at my sheet, air says that it does nothing special. So it just gives me a 0. So therefore it doesn't modify it at all. Just means I do 1 point of damage. I'm okay with 1 point of damage. It drops it down there. And now what it does is it puts down an icy spikes. Now icy spikes will go directly underneath the targeted player, or the targeted enemy in this case. And what that means is whenever this enemy tries to move, it's going to take 2 movement to break the icy spikes around them. So they're almost like encased in giant icy spikes that are pushed up at their face or whatever. So that way it kind of freezes that person in place, which is really nice. Especially since they're going to try to hurt me and I don't like getting hurt. This face is too beautiful. So that completes my turn after I flip this over and grab a water. I'm now full on ether, and I have done my attacks. So who would like to go next?
Go ahead, Beth.
All right. I will do my move, and I will skitter. I can move up to 4, so I'm going to put this over here. And I believe I'm going to take my guy and go 1, 2 for reasons. And I'm assuming that I have to use all my movement at once. I can't save 2 movement points.
Yep, got to use all your movement
fine.
at once.
That is fine, because luckily for me, my ability says, and force an enemy within range 3 to perform a move 1. And I do like me some mind control. So
Yes.
I'm gonna do that and force this guy into this terrain, which should make it kaboom.
Yeah, so this is a trap, basically a bursting bell, and it does 3 points of damage to anything that crosses its path. So 1, 2, 3, and the cool thing about Bob's character, the True Scale, is it's actually 2 different beings together in a symbiotic relationship. You've got one Raska, which is this like lizard dude, and then you've got this Keb, which is a bug that lives on its back. And the Raska has really no magic ability whatsoever. It's just really good at hitting things really hard. And the Keb isn't really good at hitting things really hard, but it has psychic damage, so it can force opponents to do things against their will, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You told me that, and I was like, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
All right. And then I will use my card ability down here, the intrusive thoughts. And I'm going to force that guy to do some movement and take some damage. So an enemy within 3 will do the same dude.
Okay.
And then I can force him into this little oozy looking stuff.
Yeah, so this is a dangerous terrain, so anytime you move into or through, you're going to do an additional point of damage.
Yep. So make him move 2, and we'll go 1, 2.
Yep.
So he'll take 2.
Mm-hmm. So
and then
2 points of damage.
Yep. And the card itself does an extra point of damage.
Yeah, it says suffer, so that means it just automatically happens. So that
Yeah,
Briarwog is very, very dead. It just kind of
It's
sunk
goodbye.
underneath the pool
that is
of gross slime.
Oops, wrong button. And then I get to gain a little. I think
A
this was, you
morph?
said morph. Yep.
Yep.
This will come down here, and then I get to flip my card,
Yeah,
and I believe that is my turn.
it is. Yes,
Felt pretty good though.
it's a pretty good attack. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
that's
turn.
And
Turn.
he hit himself. It wasn't even me. I was just like, you
Yeah.
should probably walk over there. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that. I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think this time I'm going to try and use a ranged attack.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will move Flash here 2 spots
Flash.
because yep. So that is my movement action, and now I'm going to use Gale,
Okay.
which has a range of 2 to 3.
Mhm.
So we're gonna hit this guy over here,
Okay. This guy.
the
Perfect.
Gale Leaper. Yep.
All right. So go ahead and roll that battle die. And this is a 1 damage attack, but it does have a push of 1. All right. So that is a dim, which means it just happens as is. It's kind of like our 0 in the dice. So you'll do 1 point of damage to him. But what does the rest of that attack say? It says that you're going to push him 1 space.
Yep.
So you can push him 1 space backwards.
That is correct. So he gets pushed back. And then I don't have the yellow ether, so I don't get the additional effect. But now I can use Kindle. 1 enemy within 3 range suffers 1.
Yep, suffers 1 damage, and then you get a fire.
Yeah.
And so you're making this guy suffer or the Briarwog suffer? Or did you want to have kindled him first?
Yeah.
Okay, kindle
Yeah.
him first. We'll do a little bit of retcon there. It's totally fine. Kindled him first, so then when you got him, you kill him with the other ones. Totally good.
So you can use your card ability before you use your other 2 abilities.
Absolutely. Yep, you can use them in any order
Oh.
that you want. You could do your card
Okay.
action first. You could do
Gotcha.
a board
Okay.
action, then a card, then another board action. It's whatever you want.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that would make the most sense. So yeah, I would move, use this, then finish him
Yeah.
off.
Well, on the upside, Mike, with your editing skills, you can just say, you can do that part before and then have it go right
Yeah.
into that.
Correct.
100%.
And then this flips over.
Yep.
Yep.
And that is it. That's
All
my
right.
turn.
So now that all of the rovers have gone, we are then going to do the enemy turn. Now, an enemy turn will walk through the monster manual from the top one all the way down to the bottom. And we, as rovers, have been trained to know what the opening move is for every single enemy that we're going to face. We know with 100% assurity their very first action that they're going to do. So that is this very first column that is right here. After that, there will be 3 moves that will be available to them in the future. So, but we know for right now, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to start over here with this Gale Leaper, and the Gale Leaper is going to do a movement of 2. It is then going to do a ranged attack with 2 damage for something that is 2 spaces away. So looking down at our board here, everybody goes in order. So the first Gale Leaper is right here. It is currently locked on this space, so it's going to do its movement of 2, which means it's going to break the ice spikes, and then it can't go anywhere else. And then it looks around to see if it can hit anything within 2 spaces. Nothing is available, so it just sits there idly by, doing absolutely nothing. Aw, poor
Nice try.
Gale Leaper.
Poor guy. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Now, the key with our enemy AI is that they are vicious and they are trying to do as much damage to you as they possibly can. So they don't care about anything that's in front of them. They don't care about difficult terrain. They don't care about dangerous terrain. They just want to get to you as fast as possible and do as much damage as they possibly can. So looking at the board here, our next Gale Leaper, which is this one right here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from the true scale, 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from Flash, so it's going to go towards Flash. The problem is that it's difficult terrain directly in front of it, so it only gets to move one space because it takes two to move, or it takes one additional movement to get onto the difficult terrain. So it moves one space, gets very frustrated that this tall grass is in its way, and it also does absolutely nothing this turn. So both of them, you hear just these screams in the background of whatever, like I guess chirping sounds, very, very loud chirping sounds, but nothing happens. The Briarwogs, on the other hand, are big giant frog friends. They're going to go. Now they can leap 2 spaces, which is this big arrow that looks like a big jumping action. They get to do a melee attack, which is a 2 damage attack, something within 1 or 2 spaces, so adjacent or 1 additional space farther. So think of it as a tongue pluck. So they're literally throwing their tongue out, and then they also get to pull in by 1 at the end of the attack. So right now we're looking for Briarwog number 1, which will be this one here in the middle. It doesn't have to move though, because Flash is within 2. Oh. So if something is within 2, it will not move. If something's within range, it's good to go. It's going to attack that thing. So it's going to attack Flash again for 2 points of damage. So let's roll this beautiful die, because they also roll the die just like we do. So unfortunately, that is a +1 to the attack. So that is a 3 damage attack with a pull of 1. So we resolve the attack first. So that would be 3 total damage. 1, 2, 3. And then pull in for 1. Now, Flash, if you haven't used your reaction, you may have a reaction that was available to you.
Yeah, I do. So, so after I've been attacked, I can teleport and gain some ether.
That is correct.
So, let's take that ether, and then specifically the gray one.
Which I think is 1. Nope, it is 5, 4, 2. Well, first time.
It's one of those.
You got a 1 in 6 chance, Wes. We'll get there.
Yeah, I will get there eventually.
And then this basically says I get to teleport. So I have kind of like 3 movement, except I can go through enemies and traps, correct?
You can literally go anywhere you want to go.
Within 3.
Okay.
Within 3.
Yeah. You guys have any suggestions? Should I move behind them and pull them in a different direction? Or I
would probably go like...
Probably working towards laying a trap, so maybe I could back up.
Whatever you want to do. I would say that looking at the very next thing that's about to happen, when
get
the
out
Amma
of range
goes,
of that dude.
Yeah, Amma is going to do an attack that hits everything within 5 spaces. So if you can get out of 5 spaces, that might be a good idea, considering you only have 5 points of health and the attack can be a 6.
I'm not great at math, but that don't sound so good.
I will back up a bit, and we'll force these guys to kind of go around this terrain here.
That's a great plan. Okay. Excellent. So that's then don't forget, you get to flip your card. Yes. So that way you'll have the opportunity to there. Now, lastly is going to be this Briarwog over here. It's looking to lay its tongue onto the true scale. That did not come out well at all. Yeah. It's going to move forward 1 space because it moves the minimum amount necessary to do the attack. So it is then going to attack at the true scale. True scale, is there... nope, yours is before you're attacked, but something within 1, so it doesn't work for you, unfortunately. So it's going to lash out at you, do its tongue pluck ability. It gets a -1 on the attack, so it only hits you for 1, which is nice. And then it pulls you in by 1.
I have a reaction, though.
You do, but it's only a range of 1.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I think you're going to be okay for the next thing. We'll see what happens.
I think so.
So there is that's the end of the Briarwog's turn. It is now the Amma's turn. So now the Amma is looking for everything within 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the Amma can't hit any of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. Poor
fella.
Thing. Yeah, poor Amma. So that is the end of the enemy's turn. So it is now round 2. We have a total of 8 rounds to defeat the Ama.
Okay.
All right. Now we refresh our boards and refresh your reactions. So flip your reaction token over if you used it. Pull the tokens off. Again, you would just be sliding your things down, going back to the green sides on the actual physical board. And who would like to go first?
I like that sliding up and down and like within your dual layered thing. So it kind of keeps the card in one spot, but you're still sliding it up and down like a like a switch almost. Yeah.
The key, we like these things to cover the trackers. They're fine. The problem is you've already done it. I've already done it once. But you had to take it off to see what was underneath it to reference it and then put it back on. It's very
and it's a little fiddly. Yeah, and
That's
we're
right.
reducing the fiddle. Yeah,
We're reducing the fiddle.
Reducing the
Exactly.
fiddle.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Anybody want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go. I'll smack a
All
Rooney. I like smacking things.
I like it. Do it.
All right. Well, I am gonna. I'm gonna get some. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with this strike. I'm just gonna try to smack him.
Okay.
So I get to roll this die. I hope that's good. Water. Well, nope, it's not.
It's less good.
It's less
That's okay.
good. Yep, that's all right. So I'm gonna do 1 point of damage.
All right. So 1 point of damage to our good buddy the Briarwog.
Yep. And then I don't have enough to do that or that. He didn't hit me. Two enemies is a little bit of a waste.
If you wanted, down here we haven't talked about these, but at the very bottom we have these special cards.
Yes.
These are item cards. They're consumables. So they're one-time use cards. Right now, something that might be helpful for you is this one, because it puts down a field underneath you, which is a healing field. So it would heal 1 point of damage if you ended your turn on there. But it also will give you either a green or a blue, so either a water or an earth ether, which would give you 3 ether to use on this turn for one of your cards if you need that.
Okay, I see. I would like to do that. Now, does that healing field is that one turn, or does it just hang out?
So the healing fields and the fires actually stay on the board forever until another field is put down on top of them. Even the blood of your enemies cannot put out a raging fire.
That's right. All right, so yeah, this thing sounds sweet. So let's come over here.
All
and
right.
I'll drop down a healing field.
So I've grabbed the field for you here. One of the things and one of the reasons why we set these out this way is that tracking status effects is something that's very frustrating for even RPGs, everything. It's something you've got all these little weird tokens, rings that go over top of characters. There's tons of different ways that people have used over the years to make this happen. And we said, is there anything we can do that is different, or anything that we can do that might feel a little bit cleaner, simpler, and make board state more interesting? And that we came up with this ether field idea where you actually put the fields on the ground, so that space, when you inhabit that space, you get the benefit or the bad part of that field, depending. Yeah, the effect, be it good or bad. And it doesn't matter if you're the one who put it down. Anything or anyone would have the ability to take advantage or disadvantage with that field.
I like that lore, to think that, you've created this like ether field where there's this energy kind of vortexing around, and then depending on what kind it is, you walk into that area and it's going to have that effect on you. Yeah. All right, cool. So yes, I now have 3, which I would. Man, I really want to. Is that guy within 3 of that guy? Let's see. We count my spaces here.
It has to be an adjacent enemy.
Right. I am adjacent to that Briarwog, right?
You are, yes.
So I can force.
The enemy has to be adjacent to the other.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hold. Oh, there's that. That would crush him. It wouldn't. Oh, aha! I think I can still do something. Okay. I can force an enemy within 3, and he would have to be within 3. Oh, he would no longer be within 3. Sad panda. Okay. That is okay.
This one, though.
I do have this one. What is this one?
That one's pretty killer.
That is pretty killer.
Literally.
Okay. Yes, we'll do that.
Okay.
So I will spend 3, so they come over over here, right?
Yep. So basically you're putting this ether and you're using it to be able to use this attack. So these ether, they won't be available to use to do the other activations of your items until
after the attack is done.
you completed this attack.
Yeah. Okay, so I do 2 damage to something adjacent, and then what's the fire symbol there?
So the fire is if you had spent a fire as one of your 3 dice, you would get an additional point of damage off of that first attack.
Underneath it says that.
Yep. And then, but this right here is that it puts a fire underneath your enemy, and that's that fire that never goes away. And it will do 1 point of damage should your enemy or anyone end their turn on that space.
Okay. So do I still roll the die for that 2 damage?
Absolutely. Any attacks will always roll die unless it says suffer.
All right. Come on, something good. Oh, fire sounds good.
That is 3 points of damage because that is a buff of 1, 1, 2, and 3. So it takes it down to 2. And you've got 1 more attack to go because this is a 2 attack card.
Item. That is awesome.
Yep.
Kia. Boo.
Wow, that's okay though.
So
1 damage. Yep. But if it ends its turn on that space, it will die.
It will die.
So there's a good benefit there.
That card will flip. And I still have 1 action left. So I think what I'm going to do, because I do love getting in their brains, 1, 2, 3. This Gale Leaper is 3 spaces away. We're going to make him move up here.
Love it.
Take some damage. And that'll make it easier for you guys to hit him as well.
Absolutely. So it takes 3 points of damage from onto that Gale Leaper. You were like, hey, come over here. Look at this really awesome space. And it went, oh, nice. And blew up. Love it.
All right.
And then now you ended your turn on that space. So that means that you gained a health for being in that location.
All right.
And an enemy within 5 of myself suffered 3 points of damage because when this guy blew up, I then could potentially heal someone up to 3 spaces away from me. And I'm going to do that for our good buddy Flash, who's a little bit injured right now.
A little bit.
And our good buddy Flash also could use a little extra healing. So if you notice here, it says dim. So if you look at this little spot right down here on the bottom, it shows the little dimmed half moon icon there. Bob, you might want to move your hand out of the way just a tiny.
Sorry.
There we go. No worries.
I was looking at it like you said.
You're doing a great job. It's a beautiful job. The little half moon icon on that card means that you're dimming the dice. So if we go over here, we've got these black half moon dice, and that means we're going to kind of suck the juice out of that ether die. So it no longer is the water. So the water will go away, but I then still have an ether that I can spend on these cards down here at the bottom. But I get the extra. I'm using that water juice to give an extra point of healing to my buddy Flash back here. So boop boop. It's now a 2 heal instead of just a 1, and then I get to flip that card over. And I've now used my reaction for this particular turn, which is good for me. Flash, would you like to go, or do you want me to do my turn?
I'm okay either way.
Well, I would then suggest maybe you go, because if you don't kill this Gale Leaper, I will.
Okay. All right. I can kill that Gale Leaper. So let's start by doing my ranged attack again. The Gale here.
Okay.
And that one again. 2 to 3 range with 1 damage. Unfortunately, I still can't push him back yet, but we'll get there. Am I seeing that this is 1 to 2 range on the melee attack as well? On the seer?
That's correct, yeah.
Oh, then I'll do that one, because I have the fire ether.
Okay.
So I'd spend that.
So it's not a spend, it's a dim. So you're dimming it just like I did with mine. So you're just kind of turning it into the dim dice. You're just sucking the fire juice out of it.
Gotcha. Okay, so it'll basically do an additional damage. So we get to roll our modifier here.
All right, morph. Morph is a -1 for you, so it does 1 point of damage instead of doing 2, but that's okay. So you've got him down to 1 point of health now.
Okay. Can I attack twice? I don't have to
Absolutely.
move or channel, do I? Okay.
Totally up to you.
Otherwise, I have some options down here.
Blast him.
Is that? I mean, he's only got 1 health though.
Okay. Well, then blast the other dude.
Yeah, you could move over
Or
there.
the
You could
frog.
hit the Briarwog.
Yeah, I'd rather hit somebody with more hit points to make use of that blast. So,
Because your blast will do 4 points of damage.
yeah.
Pretty strong.
It's got 2 to 3 on range. So I would just move 1 then. Oops. I'll just move 1.
Okay.
And, I'll go for the Briarwog here.
All
With
right.
blast.
So it'll be because of the dice. I'm assuming you're going to spend your crux then.
Yeah.
All right. So that these 2 kind of sit on top of this card while you're doing that attack. So it'll be a 4 damage attack because you're spending the crux there, and it'll be within anything within 3. And you also get to put a fire down on that space when you're done. So go ahead and roll that battle die.
Yeah, that one's pretty mean.
It is a great card. All right, so a dim, which means it happens as is, so that is literally 4 points of damage straight up right in that dude's face. Awesome. And you put down this fire, so it'll do 1 additional point of damage at the end of its turn.
Nice.
And then these go over here. Oops, that was a crux though.
And then the card flips. Okay.
Yep.
And that is my turn.
All right. And then, so it's my turn now. Let's see here.
Just a quick query.
Mhm.
Do you think he should have maybe used the dim dice? Could he, instead of using the water die, so he could have the dim die to activate the cool thing over there?
That is likely a very good plan, yes.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, and 3. Can I get away with doing both? I can. All right, so I'm going to do an ambush, which is trying to hit this Briarwog right here. It's a 2-point damage attack. I get an air, which is a 0 modifier, so it just happens as is. That means it does the full 2 points of damage, and our good buddy the Briarwog is very dead.
Nice.
Then I'm going to do Crazy Town stuff. So the Shadow Piercer kind of every now and again rages out, but it doesn't really want to do that right this very second. What it would like to do is actually it really does want to rage out right now, but is it going to? I don't think it's going to. Yeah, it's going to. It's fine. It's just a waste. It's such a big attack. It's not going to do it. All right, I'm going to move. I'm going to move. It's okay. We're gonna make this happen. Hold. All right, so I'm going to do a basic attack. No, I'm going to put down Miasmic Arrow. That's what's going to happen. We're going to do this Miasmic Arrow here on the side. It is going to put down a field, the dark field, which is this purple field right here. So we have light and dark fields that will go down. This dark field, if you look at my player board here, you can see that the light field will do an additional point of damage, and it also will heal 1 to whomever is standing on it. Now my dark field, on the other hand, will do 2 less points of damage. So if anyone does an attack from that space, they're going to lose 2 points of damage from doing an attack. So I'm going to put that underneath this guy here, so I don't have to worry so much about being attacked, potentially. Can I get within range of the Amma? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can. Never mind. It's not going on the Gale Leaper. Screw you, Gale Leaper. 1, 2, and 3 gets me to here. which is my movement, and then I'm going to put that arrow onto our good buddy the Amma here. So the Amma takes up 4 spaces, so we can have 4 fields on top of the Amma at once.
Nice.
And since the Amma doesn't move on its own because it's so big, it's always going to have to suffer whatever we put underneath it, which is pretty fun. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. Now I will gain another ether, and it is the Morphic Ether, so which is very nice. So I'll flip that card over. And now that is the end of my turn. Now I'm faced with a bad situation here of I've got too many dice. I've got too much ether, so I have to scale back down to 3. So I'm going to get rid of this dim ether because it doesn't really help me do anything, and I'd rather have all these other ether here. So that is what I'm going to use. And that will be the end of my turn. And now we are all here in this situation, and it is now the enemy's turn. Now, what happens now? We've gotten all this great training. We know what the opening attacks are going to be for our enemies, but what we also know some of the things that they're capable of doing. And so we know that they're likely going to be doing these attacks as their secondary attacks. They're likely going to do these as their third attacks. And then there's usually a 4th column here. But because this is the demo, we only put 3 down to make it a little bit easier to roll through things. But what we are going to do is we're going to take this die and we're going to roll it for each enemy. So we're going to move this little token forward by 1. Now there are 3 1s, 2 2s, and 1 3 on this dice. So then we do that. And then we're going to roll for the next one. That is going to be a 2. And then we're going to roll for the Amma. And the Amma is going to do their attack here. All right. So first things first, our Gale Leaper is going to go. And we have 2 Gale Leapers left. So one is the one, which is this guy right here. Looking for someone within 4 spaces. So that's less good. I happen to be within 2, so it's definitely going to go after me. And it is doing a 2 damage attack. Ugh. All right, and of course it gets a morph, which it really likes, so it'll be a 3 damage attack.
Ugh.
And it's going to push me for 2. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to go 1, and then it's going to push me into this pillar over here, so I'm going to suffer 1 for getting pushed into that. That sucks.
It doesn't just push you straight?
No, it's going to do just like we do. As long as it's 1 space farther away from itself, it'll prioritize damage.
Yeah.
Yep. Prioritize damage.
Okay.
So it pushes me into there, and that
really hurts. Yeah.
That hurt really bad, yes. Then it's going to move 2 spaces. So it is going to try to get a little bit closer here. So it's going to go 1, 2 to here, because a lot of its damage is range. So it'll prioritize that. And that way it's also potentially close to be able to hit 2 targets in the future if necessary. Now number 3 is going to go, which is this one right here. It doesn't have to move because it can hit Flash is the closest one. Flash is only 2 away, everybody else is 3 away, so it'll prioritize hitting Flash. That is a dim, so it happens as is, so that'll be 2 points of damage onto Flash. And then it moves 2 spaces. It's going to move just 1 space, so it can be in between you 2. And then we go onto our Briarwog. There's only 1 sole Briarwog left. Now, it can move 2 spaces if it wants to. Doesn't have to because you're literally right next to it, so it's just going to attack you. Now, did you want to do anything before it attacks you?
Yeah, I have a reaction to before my attack I can hit something.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I'll spend my reaction. And then I don't have to spend a fire, but I could dim a fire if I had one to add a damage.
Right? Which you don't have right now, yeah.
Now, I have to declare that before I roll?
You would, yes.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yep. All right. Air happens as is for you. So you do 1 point of damage. So you kill it before it kills you.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's what you get for trying to hit me. I'll flip that over.
Take that,
And,
Briar Wog.
Yeah.
The animal.
It's got made a frog kebab on my sword.
So now it's going to be the Ama's turn. And so if we look at the area of attack effect styles right here, you'll notice that there's a little, like a little, I don't know, a little
Burst
dot
effect
in
there.
the middle, right?
Yeah.
So that means that the target of the attack is the one that's in the middle, and then everything adjacent to that target could potentially get hit by this particular attack. So
Splash damage.
has the ability to do lots of really nasty stuff, and it would be 3 to every single one of those hexes within that that flower hex there. The good news is none of us are close enough to each other for that to happen, and it is going to prioritize whoever is within range, and that is literally just me. So
I'm assuming that friendly fire is off, so it would not hit any of his buddies.
correct. Friendly fire is definitely off. So it'll be a 3 damage attack to yours truly. And that is fire, which is a -1 to the attack. And if we remember correctly, there's a -2 to the attack here. So that means it does absolutely no damage whatsoever. However, it still does a push of 2. So the good news is that pushing me into this would not push me farther away. That is a lateral movement, so therefore it can't smash me into this thing over and over again. All it can do is push me back this direction, so it pushes me back farther away from itself, and I don't
Not
get
so
any
bad.
sort of damage, which is okay. I'm all right with that. Then it does also put one of its own dark circles underneath me, which also act the same as mine, which is a -2 to my attack, should I stay in that same place and do an actual attack. Miasmic circle there. The miasma is the dark circles. All right, and that is the end of that round. So we're now on round 3. We have 5 more rounds left after this to defeat the Ama.
I'm gonna kill that
And-
Ama.
We refresh all of our board actions as well as our reactions. And I would really, really, really like to go.
Okay.
Well,
Like
unless if you
super
gotta
bad.
go to the bathroom, you should have let us know ahead of time. But
Yeah,
Okay.
we can pause it.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
All right, Wes, do what you gotta
Thanks,
do.
guys. I really appreciate you letting me pause it there, so with your magic editing skills. All right, I want to do this really awesome attack here called Eviscerate. So if you look at this really killer thing, it says that I get to run 5 spaces, so I'm leaping 5 spaces, and then again, Bobby, you're on top of the card.
Gosh darn it.
There we go. I get to do 5 attack. And if I use a morph, which I definitely will, I'll get an extra 2. So this will be a 7 damage attack.
Nice.
That's
The
crazy.
key is I have to be within 5. I am definitely within 5, so that's perfect because I've got to end my movement adjacent. But the other thing is it says I've got to spend 3 ether, which I have. That's not a big deal. But it also says there's a little red icon there, which means I have to get rid of one of my board actions. So I'm just going to do movement because I'm not going to move again. Most likely anyway, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to move again. So I'm just going to go whoop adjacent to the Ama and do my 7 damage attack. Come on, give me something good. Fire is not good for me, so it's a 6 damage attack, but that's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good news, boys. First damage onto the Ama has been done. He only has 30 points of health left. So
Oh,
that's good. We did a great job. Now, I have used this, so I will flip it over. And that is my card-based action. I still have 1 more board-based action left. But now I have the opportunity to use one of my cards that I have listed here. So these are my armor and weapon cards. Now I can use them as many times as I want as long as I'm able to activate them. So you'll notice here kind of in the corner section, this one shows that there's a rainbow. That means that it is literally any ether can be used to activate this. And this shows that only the air can activate this particular one. This down here shows that if I happen to use an air to activate this particular card, instead of being 1 movement with the boots, it's going to be 2 movements with the boots. For right now, and I can activate these cards 3 times because I have 3 dice. So I'm going to activate it using one of my morphs. which means I can move 1 space. I just want to back up just a teensy-weensy little bit. Actually, I'll back up to right there. And then I'm going to use another morph for 1 movement to take this dice out of the center here. Now, this is an ether node, and that means that particular dice is available and can be pulled out of that space, so that ether will be spent, and then this space will now be able to be used, so you don't get any sort of crush damage or anything like that for smacking up against it, which, considering the Amma pushes and pulls a lot, and so do the Gale Leapers, I think it's probably a good idea for us to get rid of that at this point, and it also gives me an extra ether, which I like. So both of these are a gone for me. And then I can do another board action, which will be this part down here. I'll do a 2 damage attack directly again to the Amma. I don't really care about that guy. I'm just going to be shooting at the Amma. Water is good for me, so that'll be 3 damage to the Amma. And one of my reactions happens to be after an enemy suffers 3 or more points of damage, I get to get another ether. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that bad boy over and gain another random ether for that. All right, and that is the end of my turn.
You want to go, Mike? Or yeah, you should go. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I need to kind of figure out if I should be taking out this Gale Leaper over here, probably. Yeah, because Bob's going to get this one. So, yeah, I'll focus on getting him out of the way so we can go all in on the Amma.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's not anything I can push, and I used all those. So, okay, that's right. All right, let me start by attacking to a range of 3, which I can do with my Gale. So I'll start with that. So I'll use my Gale first.
Okay.
And that's just going to do 1 damage plus. Which is good for me. Plus, oh, no, -1. So no damage.
You looked amazing when you did it, though.
I appreciate that.
Style, yeah.
Style points.
Yep. 0 for damage, but like 8 for looks. So
yeah, I don't know where I spend my style points, but maybe that'll be in the spoilers.
That's between scenarios. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Sweet, look at my new armor, guys. What's it do? Nothing. It just looks good.
It looks good though.
Yeah, so no damage there, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and try the ranged attack then too. So I will sear as well.
Okay. So you can sear this guy here, which would probably work out well. So that way Bob can get more towards the Amma with...
yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. So yeah, that'll allow him to focus on that. Okay. So once again, just gonna roll this guy. Come on. Nope, greens are bad for me. So swing and a miss, but more style points, racking them up.
Amazing. Like just whew. I mean, if there was a way to get a perfect 10 on style, you'd have been there. It was really good looking.
Okay. I just have the 1 ether. I can train them. I can
now,
make
don't forget, you also
trend.
have these things down here that you could use to gain an ether and have 2.
And do something a little cooler, like bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that.
Okay.
So we're gonna use that full hour consumable.
Flip it over. So you choose either the water or the earth. So green or blue, and I put the field down underneath you.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to make a huge difference for me, so I'll take a green. Well, it was a green.
There we go.
There we go. And so now I've got enough ether to do bolts. And let's see, is there a -2 on there? Thank God, because I want to do something. All right. So come on now. Give me a good roll here.
Hey,
There you go.
Hey, that's a +1.
the +1 is
So
3
there
damage.
we go.
All right, I assume you were still aiming at the same Gale Leaper.
Yes,
This guy. Okay, so
Yep.
he is very dead.
he is dead.
Nicely
Cool.
done.
That was my bolt.
All right, and then that. So it does still put down one of your bad, your miasmic fields, where that particular one was. So you get one of those down there. So don't stand on that.
Okay. And it's end your turn, right? I can walk past it or whatever.
Oh yeah, you actually have to do an attack on that
Like
space.
that.
So just don't do that,
Okay.
because that basically makes you suffer 2 points of damage if you do it. So it's
Okay.
not a good idea.
Okay.
All right, that is your turn.
That's my turn.
Okay, what you hitting us with, Bobby?
Well,
I don't think there's any chance you can be as stylish as my turn, but go on.
Definitely not.
no, I definitely can't do that. So I'm gonna have to settle for effective.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I got lots of things. I really wish I could force a guy to move 3 and hit this dude, but I don't have the 3 ether to activate the traitorous thoughts, which is a little sad, Panda. But we can still do some fun stuff here. We need to get that Gale Reaper over here, or we can get him to stand on some fire and kill himself. I think first things first is I'm gonna need to move down here and get close to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and move 4,
Okay.
and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
We'll do that, and then can I do? It's any enemy, so I can make him come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I will do that, and I will activate the Seize and force an enemy within 3 to perform a move 1. Oop, not that one. That one. Yep, and we will move him right up by us. Fantastic. And then I don't have one of those. Oh yeah, there's an and then. He doesn't want it, and then okay, that's not that's boss. That's too bad.
No, and then.
Well, I need to gain some. Yep, I'm gonna have to knock him senseless. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
great
that.
one.
All right, so let's try to style this die. What's that?
Hey, that's good.
Win. Hey, that's good. Yeah, that's +1. So
That-
2 damage.
Yep.
So
2
homeboy.
damage. Boom, boom. And what's
A
the other
fire
part of that
token.
is it leaves a
Yeah.
fire under him. And this fire never goes away. It stays on him
Right.
forever.
Burn, baby, burn.
So as long as the Amma doesn't move, which the Amma never does according to our training, so we're in the Amma, they're staying on that fire.
I get to gain one of these, and it's random, so. All right.
Nice.
And that will flip that card. Whoop. Flip. Okay. Wow.
All right. So that is
Wow.
the end of the Rover's turns, right?
Yep.
So now we'll go back up to the top here. So we don't have any more Briarwogs left, so we'll just take this token off. But we've still got a Gale Leaper left, so we'll roll for that Gale Leaper. That is a 1. And then we roll for the Amma. And he is going to... Oh, a 3. Okay, so 1. Now this does wrap, so it would go 2 and 3.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the good news is it is a ranged attack, so it can't hit either one of us. It can only hit Flash, but Flash is, I think, too far away.
Too far away. Yeah.
1, 2. Yeah, it's too far away.
That's
Flash is
hilarious.
3. Yep. So
Well,
assuming
now, can it target? So can it go 1, 2, 3, target the square in front of him, and then hit him with the splash damage?
nope, because the target has to be that center spot.
Okay, so that has to be a person and not just a space.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing that happens is our Gale Leaper friend is going to go. So the Gale Leaper is looking to do an adjacent attack. So it is going to definitely hit me because I am the closest one. So it moves up close into my business. And unfortunately, I've used my reaction that allows me to get away from that. So it's just going to hit me. It's very rude.
Yeah.
But the good news is
Fun.
it's 1 less. So it's a 2 damage attack. Boop, boop. And then it retreats too because it's a scared little thing.
Mhm.
So it runs away. All right, and now the Ama's going to go, and the Ama is looking very frustrated and has decided that it's not going to be able to do anything. It just screams out in very large frustration.
Well, it's probably
And
upset
we are
it's on
now-
fire.
Also that, because it does take 1 point of damage for the fire. Good
Yeah.
call. There we go. Okay, so now we refresh again. It is now round 4. We have 4 rounds to do 25 points of damage. I think we got this. The Ama is shaking in his boots.
Is there any way to get to re-roll the dice that I have over here
No. So
to try to get a fire die? No.
nope. So you can just get rid of these
Okay.
that are of no use for you. So you can just put those. This one you could still use.
That one is useful. Yeah. That one's
Yep.
useful. And I'm assuming I can't add an extra square of him or an extra hex of him to hit them twice.
No, unfortunately not.
All right. I didn't think it would work that way, but it was worth a shot.
Pretty cool idea though. It's a pretty
Yeah.
cool idea. But you could, move maybe over somewhere and
Try to hit
potentially
both
find a way to
things.
get both of them in there.
Oh, I'm sure that could happen.
Okay. This round, if I may go first, I'd like to move, of course, closer to enemies and you guys, but I've got a heal card if I can stand close enough next to you guys.
Yep. I forgot
sure.
there was a growth underneath you. When you ended your turn, you should have gained a point. So you're at 6 points of health for the record. So,
Okay.
all right. So, yep, go ahead and do your turn.
Yep. So I'll start with that movement there. That's a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. And that stays back there.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can do so much cool stuff.
And what's his health at? He's got 4. I don't have anything that can boost either one of those, unfortunately. So, okay. So we'll just go with Gale. Which, yeah, has enough to hit him, hopefully. Right, I got enough style points. Let's go for effectiveness. These are not
Unfortunately,
good for me.
you are looking so good, though. Again, styling is on point.
Styling and profiling while whiffing massively.
All right, and did push 1. So, boom. There we go.
Bump him back. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to save this up, I think, or I use this to generate some more ether.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'll use this charge here.
Okay.
So this is saying +1 health or +2? Is that the 2 arrows on there?
So this is just a beneficial action. So it means you're going to put a swell token underneath yourself, which is kind of like picture it like a big cocoon of air is swirling around you. So the first attack that tries to hit you, it'll
that's right.
hold 2 points of that away from you. So
Deflect some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, that works because yeah, they're probably going to come after.
Can I go? Are you done? Can I go? I'm not excited. But
Almost.
can I go?
Almost. There's my air. which I generated with the charge. That one flips. And yes, Bob, you can go now.
Okay. I'm gonna move 4. And I will go 1, because I can move in that space now that it's gone, right?
Yep.
2, 3. Well, I guess technically 3 would be enough. Boop.
So that is actually still a space that the Ama is inhabiting.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought he
it's
was-
inhabiting all 4 of these spaces.
Oh, I'm looking at the design where his spawn thing. That's what I was looking at. My bad.
Yeah, since you moved him forward 1 space, he's now inhabiting
Okay.
all 4.
Nope, it still work. I can still do what I want to do as long as I'm
Okay.
adjacent to him still. Okay. And then where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. Oh, I can only do 1 card ability though. That's okay. Is there? Oh, I can still do it. I can still do it. I can still do it. I will do this here.
Yep.
Yep, and make this dude move up to here.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Kia. I will spend my thing on this.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I get to attack 2 enemies within my little arc there.
Mhm.
Cleave. That's for Tim. All right, so we will roll, and I will spend my. Well, I don't even have to do that, do I? Because
You can.
Well, I don't need to add another target, though, do I? 'Cause
That's
this
true.
thing already hits 2 people.
Yep, you're good. Yep.
So I'll save that, and then I will roll. Let's get some style points.
Boom.
I think that's good for me. That's average. All right, so the first guy. Oh, I should have declared who I was hitting. I think I was hitting the big guy first.
That works.
So 2 damage to him.
Okay.
And then we will style points the other guy. 2 points.
Okay. Boop boop. Very nice.
Yeah. That's
Loves
the way.
it.
I like it.
And now this card, if you look at the very bottom there, there's
Yeah, it has
a,
a funkiness. Yeah.
Yep. So what that means is it's a powerful card because it's a sweeping cleave. So you have to flip over another one of your cards that is your Raska style. So anything there. So this is the double, or you could look up here at your reactions. But both of those are Keb reactions currently. So that's
All right, so-
you literally have to flip over the settling groundwork because that's the only other one that is.
That's fine. I don't need that right now anyway.
Yep.
Flip and flip. Sweet. So if I didn't have one of those, could I still do that ability?
Yeah.
Okay. It just wouldn't have that adverse effect.
Yeah, there'd be nothing for you to flip over, so it is what it is.
Okay. That felt good.
All right. Cool. So then it is my turn. I am too close for comfort at this point because most of my attacks are ranged attacks, so I have to get away. So I'm going to do what any good student does and spend this on this and move 2 spaces away. Boop, boop. So now I am 2 spaces from both of those things, and I feel very good about that. Then I'm going to attack with my normal ambush, which is a 2 damage attack. Hey, that is a +1, so that's 3
1.
damage attack. So that will be, I do everything onto the Ama, obviously. So 1, 2, and 3. I don't care about Gale Leapers. They can hit me all they want, but they're not going to attack me. They're going to attack the True Scale, so it's fine. I'm very, very big and bad when they're not going to hurt me.
That's right. I'm pretty tough. Quit holding me back. Quit holding me back. Yeah.
And then I'm going to do this Careful Aim card, which is another 2 points of damage, and I get an Ether for doing so.
You generated ether, so
I
I
sure
will
did.
heal for 1, which is why I got nice and close here. So this says when another rover within 3 generates an ether dice, I heal, and I'm not understanding the self in that rover.
So you heal yourself and that dude.
Yep. So you're whoever it was, and then you could trade with that person as well. So you could trade dice with me, and I get to heal 1 as well. So both of us heal 1. So boop, and then we could trade dice. Do you want anything that I have?
How many can you trade? Just 1?
Just 1. So I can trade you this wind, which you could potentially use on other things, and I'll take your water.
Exactly. Gladly. Thank you.
All right, love it.
Yep.
And then I've got one more thing to do. I can heal an ally within one, so I'm gonna heal.
Did you already heal from my ability?
I did. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna heal Flash back up to full, and then that will be the end of my turn.
Nice.
I think. Yeah, because I don't need to do the Ama. I don't need to do that heal. I would rather, after an enemy ends their movement adjacent to me, that's what I would rather do. Okay, so now we have one Gale Leaper left. And that Gale Leaper is going to do a ranged attack of 2. And wouldn't you know it, it's going to hit me.
Well, you taunted it, so
I did totally taunt it. But you know what? I can take it. I'm a big cat. So that is a water which has no affinity, so it'll be 2 points of damage to me. Yikes. Okay. I'm a little low on health, but I think I'll survive.
as long as he doesn't do his explodey attack, you're like, okay.
Yep. 1 and 2. So all rovers within 5.
Well, except for
you
me,
are not going to be hit because it's 2 to 5. So it's going to hit both of us.
I'm like right up there with my shields and defense, like, come on, hit me, and they're like, why is somebody hitting me?
This is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I'm going to die, but I'm going to get knocked out, so it'll be good. We'll have an opportunity to show what happens when that happens.
Learning moment.
That's why we did it. I mean, obviously,
Oh,
we have to
yeah.
show how the
We
mechanism
scripted it so that
Yeah.
we could show the mechanism. Correct.
100%. That was definitely the reason. So the first thing that happens is it's going to go after Flash because Flash has more health. So the Crux is a -1. So of course, only going to do 2 points of damage to you. Boop boop. But you also have a swell underneath you. Boop boop. So it actually doesn't do anything to you. And then it's going to attack me and get a morph. No, it gets the regular. So it's 3 points of damage to me. Okay, so I now have 0 points of health, and I am officially knocked out. Okay. The good news is I'm just knocked out. So all of us, if we look down here, have this powdered Draken, which will be this thing that will bring you back. It will revive you. So if you notice, there's like a little heart with a circle around it. It's a different type of healing icon. So that means that it's bringing you back from the dead. And it could be for one person, or you have to be adjacent to that person to be able to use it. It says, I think it shows 0 to 1, but that's a misprint on the card. So you have to be adjacent. So right now, the good news is Flash is adjacent to me. So on Flash's turn, you can use that. It's not a
action.
Anything action on your turn. It just is a free action to be able to bring me back, and I get 2 points of health right away. So win-win. It's just kind of expensive. So when you replace it at the end, you have to pay 5 list, which is gold, to be able to get it back, which is fine.
How many style points would it cost?
Oh, I mean, probably 20, and it's a good thing that Flash has earned at least 30.
Yeah.
The round.
So yeah, we'll let him use his item then.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, so refresh your board. It is now round 5. We have 3 more rounds left to destroy the Ama.
Let's get a good look at West flipped over here.
Why are you looking underneath my dress? Come on now. That is very rude. This is a children's program.
Oh, Bella. You make this game difficult. You're lucky you're cute.
All right, who's going first? It can't be me, for the record, because I'm
You are knocked out.
Yeah.
Bob's in the thick of it, so.
Into the thick of it. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Go for it.
Okay.
I'm only knocked out here, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, you're unconscious. I will continue
Yeah,
the fight.
I have no idea what's going on, so do what you gotta do.
In your honor, or in your name, and all those good sayings.
Oh, and the Ama also suffers 1 point of damage for being on the fire.
Man, I need some. Oh yeah, thank you. I need some darn ether,
15.
so I could do some big attacks. How much health does that thing have left on it? Get rid of this pesky guy. Sorry, I'm playing one-handed now because there's a cat in my lap. He has 2 hit points, huh? All right, well, let's just take care of him. I'm going to force a non-boss enemy within 3 to perform a move 2 and then take a point of damage.
Okay.
And then he will take a damage. So we'll do this guy and we'll move him 2. 1, 2, into that. So he'll take, and then he takes 1. So he'll take 1 for entering and then 1 for doing that.
He did.
I'm going to get rid of him. And then I get to gain another one of these morphs. Bloop. And then I will flip that. And then I will strike this guy down before me. And roll my die.
Nice.
I believe that is a
plus
good
1.
bonus. Plus 1. So 3 damage
All right.
to that guy. And then well, don't really need to move him anywhere unless you want me to move him away from you guys.
Nope.
No, keep him
Well,
where he is.
I mean, yeah, actually moving him away. Well, I don't know. It's up to Flash.
I would be able to berserk or do my eruption on him here, which is 4 damage plus a potential of 6 damage in 1 attack because of where he's located.
Okay. Well, then I think I can do this if I remember correctly. So I will use my
And I
move
won't
of
have
4.
to move so I can attack him twice. from
I got it.
this
So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and use my last movement point to pick this die up.
Okay. You still will have to move because you can't do the 2 attacks. It's only a range of 2 for your seer, and the Ama is 3 away from you.
Well, I mean, I will be doing the gale and the. Oh yeah, I'll be able to move. But I'm gonna channel instead of move so that I can use eruption and my seer or gale.
Okay.
I am done, so it's all you guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna channel, which gives me.
Which takes a die from here and moves it over here.
Oh.
And then you get a
that's
new
not-
ether. So I would say that maybe Bob should push him 1 because you're gonna have to move no matter what.
Yeah.
And that way Bob can get another ether die and have 3 for his next attack.
I see.
So should I move back and put that die back, or?
No, you can still stay there, but you used after your attack you used this reaction.
Oh,
Right?
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you
And
get one more.
was that a
ether die.
random?
Yep.
Okay.
So it was here. It is now here.
Wow, 3 of a kind.
So that way it still stays on the fire.
Yep.
All right. First thing first, please get me up so I can take advantage of reactions because I could have healed myself with Bob's turn.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. And that is with.
That Draken powder there. Just go ahead and flip that bad boy over.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Woohoo! All right, I'm back. Now I can take advantage of reactions.
Why is that doing that?
All right, what you doing, Mike?
So you won't be able to go this turn at all.
I will be able to. I just have to go after you.
Yeah, you had to get him up first.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess I will move then. So I have to move up to 3. What's that look like he might do? Oh yeah, he's got that one that could potentially be attack that's range 2 to 3. So I think I'd rather, 2 of his attacks are 2 to 3 or 2 to 5. So I think I feel safer standing next to him.
Yeah, being adjacent's pretty safe. I was there like 2 turns and I think it hit.
Other
Yeah.
than all of your attacks are ranged attacks, except for 1 is seer. So you won't be able to do that cool card-based action that you were thinking about doing.
Yeah, I won't be able to anyway because I can't generate enough ether.
You
This
can't
turn to do it.
isn't he like 4 spaces big? You can't target like the furthest space away.
So technically speaking, no, because they are also next to you, or he would also be next to you. So it's the same enemy, and that enemy takes up all 4 of those spaces. So you can't like target their leg or whatever. You're just targeting the boss, and the boss happens to encompass all 4 of those spaces. So they're still next to you as well. It doesn't, unfortunately, you can't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
He's still considered to be basically in melee with you.
Yes. So like, yeah, that's kind of the situation. At least that's the way I've read the rules so far. That's a good question. My understanding of the rules is it's also still in melee with you, so it wouldn't work. But in theory, like, you should be able to attack that leg. So let's just say yes. These rules, I mean, it's still in
work in progress,
right? Yeah. So let's say yes. Let's do it, because that makes it more fun. And the rule of fun is included in the game.
Nice.
So yes.
I believe that scores more style points too. So.
Oh
Also,
yeah, I haven't.
Sure.
I haven't tried a trap yet, so let's give that a shot. All right, so I'm going to use swell here. Create 1, 2 trap in an enemy empty hex. Oh no, not empty. That's not going to hit Amma. Okay, never mind. So instead, I'll kindle.
Yeah.
So
give him a book to read.
Yeah. Correct. So I get a fire ether when I do that, and then he will suffer 1 damage, and I get
down
a roll
to
for
11
damage still, or that's just suffers the damage. Okay.
Suffer happens just automatically.
Okay. So I'll flip that, and then I can sear with an extra damage.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So let's roll this.
Oh, Bella, you're so warm. You're like 1,000,000 degrees, cat.
So that will hit. And
right,
that'll be 2 damage unmodified.
Boom. All right, so it takes it down to 9.
Nice.
Let's see, can I do 9 points of damage? Probably not.
Zoinks,
but
please.
I can look awesome while I do other things.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. It's 4. It's not quite close enough. Dang it. Okay. So I'm going to do my Devour Prey ability. So I'm spinning all 3 of these dice to do Devour Prey. I get to move 4. So 1, 2, 3 gets me right there. But I'm going to do 4 to get me right here. So I'm not adjacent to anyone, so weird things don't happen. Then I have to sacrifice one of my actions on the top to be able to do this. So with those 3 in that, and so that means I get to do 4 points of damage. What do I get? What do I get?
Get him.
Hey, water. That is +1, so that'll be 5 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 points left.
Imminent doom.
After an enemy, I gotta finish doing this. So then I heal myself for 2, but +1 because of my amazing card there, because of my morph. So that'll be 3 points of damage healed to myself. 1, 2, 3 takes me to 5. And then because I did 3 points of damage or more, I can do my own reaction here, which is super cool. And I will get an additional point of health there. Boop. And then that flips this over. And then I still have 1 more board action left, but I'm going to use this water die to move with my boots. These boots are made for walking, baby. And then I'm going to do a regular attack for 2 points of damage, potentially 3. Come on, damage. Hey, that is just happens as is. So 2 points. Boop boop.
Not bad.
Only 2 points of health left. Ah, so close.
We could just like pass for 2 turns and he's dead.
Basically, yeah. All right. So that ends that turn. But on this one, yeah, that ends that turn. Perfect. So now it is the Ama's turn because we killed the Gale Leaper, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
walked into that ooze stuff.
That's right.
He thought it was a good idea.
Oh, so the Ama is definitely going to put down that circle of nonsense. On to
You.
to me.
You shouldn't have backed up. You should have stayed adjacent.
3, right? I had to do an attack, so it's all good. All right. So it's going on to me. Let's see. Crux is a -1, so that's okay. It's only 2 points of damage. I can handle that. Boop, boop. And then it's going to push me back to spaces. So there we go. And then it puts a bad circle underneath me. Just to be a jerk.
He is. Okay, he's on his own bad circle.
That's right. And then it takes 1 point of damage. He only has 1 point of health left. All right. As Matt Mercer would say, how do y'all want to do this?
Mike, show this guy some
More-
style.
More style points.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to do it this way. I'm going to move
Unless you want to put a
backward.
trap down, and then I can move him into the trap.
No, I'm going to move backwards, and then we're going to erupt.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
All of the.
And you are spinning double fire, too.
Yes.
Oh, double air, yeah.
When? That's what I meant.
Double air. Yeah.
Yep. If there had been other enemies in the area adjacent, they
They
would
take
suffer
damage.
too as well, which would be amazing. It's a super killer card.
Yeah, well, wow, you got
Just-
all your other cards, too. Jeez Louise.
All right, and fire is a +1,
Plus
I
one.
believe. Yep. So
5 damage.
very, very dead.
Nice.
Very dead. Good job, gentlemen. Well
yeah.
done. Well done.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
And
what
so-
happens when you accumulate those style points.
That's right. It's very
Mhm.
right. But that is how Rove works, and obviously this was a basic encounter because it is our demo version. But that is the concept of how each of your skills work. You can kind of see how your synergies work together, and you know, especially with True Scale pushing people around quite a bit, and
Yep.
same with Flash being able to move people with the push, and then the Shadow Piercer just kind of raging out there.
Yeah, and like the working together too, how like you're gaining stuff when like other people are dealing
Yeah.
damage or gaining ether, and yeah,
I like
it's-
that.
it promotes the teamwork. You know, makes the dream work.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
just how, and really just how it downs the fiddle by. I mean, the map itself shows you where stuff spawns. There's no like separate book to figure out where you have to set enemies when you set it up. That's really nice too. And this board's really easy to manage. Like
Yeah,
crazy easy to manage.
it's very simple.
In other games, it'd be like 12 tiles put together.
Yeah.
You have to like sort out.
I
Yeah.
mean, compared to other similar experiences, there's not a lot on the table to mess with here. I love that.
Yeah, that was one of the keys for us is where does Rove fit into the campaign games that are out there? Because there's some amazing campaign games out there.
I played a bunch.
Yeah, we know most of them. They're amazing games, and you know we know that we're not trying to go head to head with any of the above. We're our own thing. We have inspiration from some of the great games out there. Obviously, our art style is very similar to one, but you know we're really story driven in certain ways because we didn't talk about the story in this particular demo, but it's very very story driven. We actually call the campaign as 5 chapters, and it's chapters for a reason because there's an opportunity for you to learn about what's going on in the world. And then you get to, because of your understanding of what's going on, you get to make choices that massively change the environment and the world around you. And those choices are story beats. Everything about those chapters are very scripted. So it gives you an idea of you know, from point A to point B to point C to point D all the way through until you get to where the boss is. It's very, very thematic, very story driven. So you have an opportunity to really get yourself engrossed in what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, no, we can't show any of it now, but you were talking to us about how like you have those choices, and it's not just like, okay, we did this quest, so you can't do this quest. It's like, no, you're going to revisit this with the consequences of the decisions you had, and everything is so different than if you had chosen the other way from the initial get-go, and that's awesome.
Yeah, the maps are different. The bosses can be different, or at least a different version of the boss. The whole fights can be completely different. Everything about the encounters that you see in that chapter will be totally different.
Yeah.
Which I think leads to a ton of replayability. It gives you really an opportunity to see a totally different story and how things developed throughout the game, which I think is great.
Yeah, sweet.
And then, of course, your evolution aspect of your character is also one of the unique things that we do. We got inspiration from Pokemon in there in a way. You've got your base characters here, and as you level up, kind of your prestige along the way, you're going to get to your new class level. You'll have some advanced character cards that you can use. If you like fighting, say with your true scale character, if you really like doing sword and board stuff and you just want to hit people harder, you could take some of those advanced cards and push them that way. Or if you really enjoyed the movement of the Keb with that getting into your brain nonsense, which I think is super fun, you could focus more on that and take those cards instead. So you're choosing that particular portion of what you like about leveling and moving up. And then your new character is new artwork, a new mini if you back the mini section, and then in addition to that, you're going to have a new mechanism to play with and 3 new base cards to play with, and you'll have a total of 5 new cards that you could choose 2 of again when you're moving up that particular level. Plus, if you'll notice on your base board, there's 2 open slots here. There's a reason for that. So you'll have some pretty cool things you get to choose from along the way as you're moving forward and evolving into the different versions of yourself. Kind of like Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard, kind of in a way. You still, it feels homey, but it's still a very different version of what that character can do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to like here. And of course, for those that are interested, you've got about a week to back this. This will be live on Kickstarter until June 6th. So hopefully this will give those that are interested in it enough information to make an informed decision about whether this game is for you.
I would even say, like, if you're on the fence about it, you pay like the $1 to get in, so you can get on that the pledge manager, and then you can really see how things have continued to develop and what go from there.
Yeah, we will not be going to retail with this, so because our base pledge is at $99. It is ridiculously under the value of what it probably should be. Our MSRP is like about $150 or $160, something like that. So we won't be doing retail. We're not doing any sort of broad distribution. The only way you'd be able to get a copy of this game once it is published is either seeing us at a show with the very limited quantities we have, or potentially getting in either to the late pledge, or maybe if we have some extra copies left over. We're not doing a big overprint or anything like that. It is literally, we're printing what we need to fulfill the Kickstarter and then moving on. So we want you to play the game. We want you to enjoy it. So please back us now. And obviously we're doing well. So there's potential in the future where we could do some expansions, but I don't know when that would be right away. Anyway.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Wes, we really appreciate your time showing us Rove tonight. Again, folks, I'll have the link to the Kickstarter in the description for this. This is pretty awesome. Something you should definitely check out.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in it, I mean, $99 is very little for what you get from what I'm seeing.
The dollars per hour,
yeah. Compared to other co-op campaign adventure games, that is a great price point.
Yep.
Absolutely. Lots of artwork in the game too. Those map books are very expensive to produce, but they're definitely the better way to do it so that you can get more plays. And that's really what it's all about, is getting the game to the table. Because you can have 400 hours in a campaign game, which is great, but if you never get it to the table, then do you really have those 400 hours in the campaign?
Right.
You can definitely see a lot of smart decisions that were made in here to reduce fiddliness and increase how quickly you can get it to the table. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was our major focus. So that and fun.
Awesome.
Obviously, fun is important.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys for having me on. I really appreciate you as always. You all are the best of the best. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for the teach.
You're the man, West. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
If you're going to the UK, we'll be at the UK Games Expo, booth 1862, for the UK Games Expo. So we'd love to see you there. We'll obviously also be at Origins, and we'll be at Gen Con as well with the Foreteller booth at Gen Con. We'll have our own booth at Origins.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So
Great.
you said Foreteller booth. Is Foreteller going to do some of the voiceovers for this? Fantastic.
Foreteller is doing the whole thing for us. Absolutely. Yep.
Nice.
They're already in. They've already got the first 5 chapter or first 5 quest scenario packs. Yep. So they got the first 5 of those. They're already working on them, and then they're going to move on from there. So
Awesome.
they're doing a great job. We're super excited to have them on board as well.
Yeah, they're fun.
We knew going in that we wanted to have Foreteller, so
Awesome.
they're super to work, man. But they're doing some really crazy stuff, so I love it.
Yeah. Cool.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, you heard it straight from Wes from Addax Games. You got a week to check this out and back it. We hope that you do. For the board game rundown, I was Mike.
Bob.
West.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
We'll see you guys.
Good job, Stonemeyer. A 7.3 repeating. Heating.